Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the live show. We have a poppin' market, including crypto, just going wild, everybody. It's just crazy out there, and I hope everybody's having fun locking in profits. I mean, we had so many poppers going: CERO, GOVX, BTCT, SYRS, MAXN, LSB. WTO, and the list just keeps going on and on, plus the big caps and coin and all them bad boys. I mean, it's just wild what's going on, and we've been calling them all. So it's been beautiful. Here we go. Let's get rolling. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not intended as financial advice, so always do your due diligence. And let's check out the market and see what's happening. Because again, CERO, that bad boy was popping over 100% today. It got cruising today. It went from what? 7 or 8 cents, 7 cents to 24 cents, and its low was at 7 and it's closed at 19. So I mean, you've seen a big popper right there, and we were all over that bad boy early. So CERO, I hope people are enjoying that one. I know a few of you are because I got some nice messages, and I'm glad everybody's on it again. Just be careful. It's not way up at the top. Could run up tomorrow, but has that weird look, so have to be careful on it. And again, it did run up, so watch it tomorrow, especially on the web bull in the morning, because it'll be trying to run up early, and then who knows what it's going to want to do after that, because them bad boys run up and come down pretty quick. And this one definitely popped up nice. So that was CERO. GOVX, talked about it last night, ran up over $1 today, up to 314. It does have its earnings coming up on the 12th, so that is tomorrow, and it's getting to the top, and I would just personally take the profits and keep on moving. It looks super bullish going into tomorrow, but I don't know if I'd play it after the earnings. So another one just super early, and bam, you hit the pop. Could it run up after the earnings? Absolutely, but you know how I feel about them. But it does look pretty strong right there. So that is that GOVX. BTCT. I added it to the list not very long ago, and it went from 194 to 306 just today, and it got up to the top, and it's not done, I don't think. I think this bad boy wants to run a little higher, so that is BTCT. And like I said, it even says it got up to 364, actually, 203 to 364, and it says it's at 344 right now on mine. So that is BTCT, and that's another one we were just looking at recently. And how about that SYRS? Because that one went wild today. It's up over $3 and what, 39 cents now in the after hours, and it went to the top. This is that one I said they had something going on, and they had a little insider buying, and we were down in it way cheaper because it was down here in the low twos, I believe, and it popped up, and it's looking good up there. So SYRS, there you go for that one. Nice popper. And just another one on the list that was cruising. So laptop traveled like that, and again, we just picked that one out of nowhere on the scanner and just knew it was rolling. And we're early on all of them, so we see every single popper. It is beautiful, guys. And we haven't stopped and since we started this show, and it's just getting started now. Like I was telling you, once it got to Halloween, it would get good, and towards Thanksgiving, it would get great. Well, look what's happening. And what I say, when we got to Christmas, it would get amazing, right? So buckle up because it's getting amazing, guys. I think you guys can see that. And I think you guys know the charts just tell the story. So we're just reading what they're telling us, and let's roll with them because they are beauty. So that's SYRS moving. MAXN. This one still looks good. We were just looking at it and said it was curling back up, and it might get higher than that high was at 1266, I think it was on November 1st, and it got to 1225 today. So it's right there. It looks like it's going to get up there and keep on running tomorrow. So that is MAXN. And another one we were super early on. Right after that reverse split, boom, we knew it was taking off and running because we had already been looking at it. How about LSB right there. And that one ran up as well today, and we were all over this one. I mean, you couldn't have timed that out anymore. Perfect. And we did that 205 to 323 today. It's at 279, and that was a beauty. So, I mean, you're just talking popper after popper after popper and timing them right. WTO, another one we just looked at last night and said it was setting up, looking good, have it on the list. And that one ran from what? It gapped up, I think. It gapped up to 51. Yeah, because it closed yesterday at 32. So it gapped up this morning and then it came down to 32 and it closed at 42. So that one gapped up this morning as we were saying, it was going to look good. So that was another one, WTO and EJH. Let's look at that one because that one was looking good last night and it just moved up a little bit. It came back in the after hours. It was looking pretty decent today as well. EJH, I know we looked at this last night with WTO and it ran it from $1 to $1 closed at or would it close at 98 cents, but would have closed yesterday at 93. So it opened up. I thought it gapped up today. So it did gap up like 7 cents on the open, and that was at EJH we were looking at. So there you go with them bad boys, all runners today. And obviously we look at them tomorrow for more momentum, but they were all cruising today. And LGMK, another one, Logic Mark, earnings tomorrow. It was moving today a little more, and it still looks pretty good. But you know how I feel about these earnings. It just looks like I can't tell what it wants to do, but it did run up today, 12 to 15. And almost got as high as it did. I thought it didn't get there, but it got to that 15 cents the other day on the 7th, and it got back there. So I would expect it to try to keep that momentum off the 50 tomorrow, and I would try to obviously look for profits before you get their earnings. I'm not sure if they're in the morning or at in the after or after it closes the market, but you can look on the the StockTwits app, and again you can listen to the earnings. They have every single earnings call on there. It's a pretty cool feature that StockTwits has. So there you go at LGMK, and they do have their earnings. What is that? That DXYZ. This thing's wild too. But I think this one got up into the top. Just let it pull back a little bit. We'll see what it does tomorrow. I don't know if it's going to keep running in the top. I think you're going to have a little pullback. We were talking about them big caps pulling back, and they did it today. They were right there. You couldn't tell last night. And I did say, keep your eye out for them to pull back. It's totally understandable. They ran up on that reaction. And I was saying, I don't even think the market was expecting the votes to go that smooth. I think it was ready for them to pop Thursday and Friday, and they popped Wednesday and Thursday instead. And it kind of threw off the shuffle of it, but the rhythm. But it's perfectly fine. The dust will settle, as I say, and they'll get right back, and you can see things are popping. Just a Mag 7 pullback, except for Tesla, because that one's going to be an animal along with Doge. So there you go. But that's DXYZ, and they have private ownership in what's Space Link, whatever the oh, I can't even think of Elon space thing. I just went drew a blank. Whatever it is, somebody will post it. I can't even think of the name of it. Holy cow. Anyway, it's been a long day. I'm telling you, I think the weekend and all these stock charts going crazy just like made my brain just like fry because I was trading crypto and looking at that, and these are going crazy. And it was a long weekend, and yeah, I'm definitely feeling it. So I'm just gonna roll through today, get through them. I wanted to post the videos and do a bunch of stuff. I swear, having kids too, you just never have enough time to get anything done, but it's all good. We're just crushing the market, and I'm having fun trading it. So I'm having a SpaceX. Thank you, laptop travel. It was driving me nuts. I was about to Google it because I'm like, what the hell is the name of that? SpaceX. Thank you. So they have a private ownership on SpaceX, and that's DXYZ. And I just could not think of SpaceX there. So there you are. IXHL. How about this guy? Another one we had on the list getting back into the top at 294. I think it got over. Did it get over there? No, maybe that was its high 298. Let me see. IXHL. 298. I wasn't sure if it got to that $3. I saw it right around there, but I didn't notice if it got over. And that one actually looks like it wants to run up into the top some more tomorrow. So keep an eye on that one, IXHL, to run up into the top. OCGN, let's check that out because that one was also moving up 8 cents. I know it ran the other day, well, yesterday or Friday, I mean, and then they had earnings. When do they have earnings? On the 8th, which is they had earnings on the 8th. And so it is moving up. It pulled back on the earnings, and now it's getting cruising. And yeah, BTBT was another one that was moving today. Thank you, Luis Rodriguez, because I even tagged him. He was all over that one and mentioned it a few times. And we just mentioned it like 3 days ago, probably Friday, and said it was setting up to get cruising, and it did today. But OCGN, I think, is going to get cruising, guys. And we were early on that one. And let's talk about BTBT because I forgot to add that one. And that was up $1.13 at least today. I mean, that one got flying up there. BTB, oh, BTBT, 477 to 573, and that's where it's closed. So that one was cruising today. And there you go. Luis Rodriguez was all over. What I just say the other night, I'm telling you, there's a lot of great people that listen to the show, and certain stock tickers are just going to move. So that's what I was kind of saying the other night. You pay attention to certain ones that I say are on the list for certain people because you kind of know where they're going. And like I said, Luis Rodriguez is all over the option calls generally. He usually sees them big caps, but the BTBT was a smaller one at $5, but I mean he was all over that thing at down at like 350. So um just a beauty right there. And there you are. So yeah, just crushing them all over the place, every which way. And like I say, I think the listeners send in some great ones. Laptop Travel always has amazing lists. Jennifer Lee sends in great ones, and so many others do too. Everybody does, honestly. And collectively, it just makes a great watch list and all the poppers. And I just tell you which ones I think are going to run sooner than later. And we just cruise through them. So just make your watch list and yeah, pay attention. Like I say, some people like the penny stocks. If you're going to be trading them, make sure you're up early on that web bull because if not, you're not really going to be able to maximize them profits. That's where they're running 4 a.m. It's wild. So, and I understand they're not for everyone. Trust me, if you have kids, it's hard to get up at 4 a.m. and trade them bad boys. So then you want to look at options or the big caps or things of that nature like TSLL because that option, again, that one's flying. We looked at that and that one's going crazy. So is that CONL. That one was nuts too. So, I mean, so many great opportunities. And we do the entire market, guys. I mean, from as you can see, we just ran through a bunch of penny stocks. We have a solid list of the Mag 7 and big caps that we go through and better ones. And then anything that you guys ask, and like I said, Laptop Travel always provides a great list, and everybody else too. So here we go. Let's get cruising Holo. Let's look at that one. We destroyed that call every which way, every time, and it is curling up. Look for Holo to start running. I think it's getting ready to cruise, guys. So I would say Holo is going to be a mover tomorrow. So keep your eyes on HOLO tomorrow. So there you go. And I'm knocking down things. Getting all excited about Holo getting ready to run. HOLO, that one's getting moving though tomorrow. I would say that's cruising. So if you want to look at one cruising, it might be in the morning for you on the web bull already. Not sure if that one really rolls early in the morning. I'm not on there, but that one's set up to get moving, guys. So look at it. CDIO. This one was cruising up yesterday, or last week, and yeah, I keep saying yesterday. Last week it was cruising up, and it got up to that high of 52 cents. It's at 41 right now, and it looks like it wants to run back into the top and try to run up higher. So keep an eye on this in the morning for a quick momentum play because it does look like it wants to do it in the morning. CDIO. So keep a watch on that early because that one looks like it could get cruising for you for that momentum play. And like I said, it's just let me see where it was. It's right there by the top. Yeah, it looks like it wants to get back in there. So if it gets back in there and it built that nice base, I think that could get up probably past like 55 cents. Like I said, the high the other day was 52. So yeah, it'll get past that 55 towards 60, I think. So that's CDIO. and it is looking good. S dot, another one that was been cruising up. We were all over this down here in the 250s, and it's at 394 in the after hours, I believe, somewhere around that spot. 393. And yeah, it got up to 420 today. So that's S dot SDOT. And that one is cruising, but let's see where that's going to move. It looks like it could be trying to flatten out, or we'll check and see what it's doing right there. But it could be setting up to get even more bullish. And a lot of these charts, a lot of them had this bearish look for a long time. Go figure, right? And now they're about to change and go bullish for a long time. So you're seeing the market swing and you're seeing these charts get back to normal. And that's why I think my brain's like fried because I've looked at so many. And I guess I'm pretty excited to see the charts get back to like somewhat of normalcy, especially after these last few years. It is definitely exciting. I mean, you can see how the market's just reacting, and that's not just like the overreaction. That's just these charts setting up and running the way they should. They haven't done it, and now you can tell. I'll explain like real quick why I was saying I don't think the charts could have lasted another 4 years because they have never seen that kind of run action. And like I said, I've been looking at them for over 20 years. I've never seen them do it, and and I know we didn't have the technology really before that to like break them down like that because I kind of looked back there. But still, I mean, they've never run like they have in these last 3.5 years. And I don't think they would have lasted another 4 years. And I've said it multiple times way before the election. So I just give you an honest look, and it's exciting to see them get back to normal. And that's how you knew nobody was running the country. So there's certain things that you can see and they jump right out at you if you know what to look for. And because again, over the 20 years, you could tell, oh, that's supposed to do that in certain times. This is supposed to do this. And that's why I can basically call out certain things because it's just patterns, really. And then every pattern got broken in the last 3.5 years. And that's why the charts just crumbled because nothing was being done. It was crazy. But that's about that did it ended real fast and it's exciting. I can tell you that HLVX. That's another one we were looking at the other day, that Hilly Vax, and that's starting to move because we were looking at it down here in like the 180s, and it's back to 197, and that looks like it wants to get cruising tomorrow. So HLVX, take a look at that bad boy in the morning because that looks like it's running up, and that's just another one that we were early on. And GFAI, that one was running the other day. And let's see what it's doing here because it was setting up right there. I mean, this thing is right there. It's just kind of flat. It ran up a penny. Didn't really do a whole lot today, but it's just getting set up. So keep your eye on that GFAI tomorrow because it is looking good. And again, we were checking it out. It ran up the other day, and it's just a little setup day for it and should be fine right there. I would definitely look at that in the morning. WINT, that went. I think this is getting set up as well. We were talking about it. I think that bottom was on Friday when it had that little dip and rip look. What did it get down to? 53 cents. It's back to 60. And I think you're going to see WINT take off. So keep your eye on Wint as well. And it's at 60 cents. And I think you're going to have a runner there. You know how we're about 3 weeks early on everything. Well, that's probably about that timing right there. So that is WINT. Win LCID Lucid, another one we just found at the bottom the other day, had some earnings, but the bottom was a 202 on the 6. And I said, this one's getting set up to get cruising. It ran up today, LCID, and it went from 223 to 241. It's at 237, and it's going to continue to run up. So LCID is going up, and you can keep an eye on that one. IOVA. Let's look at that one. IOVA. Here we go. Couldn't type it in for some reason. My brain didn't want to process it. Oh, that dip and rip was definitely on Friday when it got down to that 931. It's back in the 1050s, but just looking at it real quick like that, let me see mine. But it looks like that's going to be it. It did cross down. I was wondering what this chart looked like because this one has it touching the line and mine says it's crossed down, but it's in one of them spots where it could pull right back up today. or tomorrow today. Could pull itself right back up tomorrow from today. It doesn't look that bad. And I've talked about that before, and it has that look like it wants to bounce up. So keep an eye on this bad boy tomorrow because I think you're going to see a little bounce play right there. So keep an eye on IOVA, because that looks like it wants to bounce. BSLK, that's at Bolt Projects Holdings, and it was moving the other day. Let's see what it's doing. It's just running that bottom right now, and that bottom was on the six at 28 cents. We're at 36 cents, so you'll probably see this run up a little bit more, I would assume. BSLK, it looks like it wants to, so keep your eye on that because that's setting up to run a little bit higher. And that's another one we were pretty early on. So we had looked at it before it ran up. And again, now they're starting to actually come out of the basement. Now, I'll explain it real quick for you. Here you go. Normal look. Got down to that bottom all of a sudden on what I say, the sixth. So there you are on right the day after the election. Got down to the bottom and just set up and started running perfect. Crawled up, got to the top, like got to the basement, ran flat. The 20 doesn't really have anything to do with it right now because your 20 sitting all the way up here at 41 cents, and it's not waiting for it to pull up. It'll probably get cruising relatively soon. Maybe it'll try to wait for it, but I doubt it's probably going to use it as a resistance right here and jump through it and pop off it. So again, just a totally different look than what we had a couple weeks ago. And it's definitely exciting. So I got to kind of readjust my brain and my eyes to look for that again because I had to readjust myself to look for nonsense. And now they're getting back to normal. So it's I think that really is like confusing my brain. I'm like, why is he like, especially some of them are getting into the top, and we've had to be so cautious. I mean, we know what they've done lately or in the last few months. I won't say in the last few days, but we know what they've been doing, and it's nothing pretty or fun. And now they're getting up there and just flying. So that's what they should do, and they haven't been able to do that in a long time. So, and that's all across the board, whether it's a penny stock, big caps, all of them are doing it, and it's beautiful. So. BSLK again looking good to try to get out. It's on that basement floor and it should get popping up soon. If not, yeah, I'd say probably trying to move this week. GBR, this thing, new concept energy. This one's looking really good right here to set up. So I would keep my eyes on this one. GBR. It looks like it wants to continue that momentum tomorrow. It went from 120 to 125. It's at 124 today. And it is. It's looking like something's going on here and it wants to pop up there. So keep an eye on that GBR. I could see that trying to move up some more. HAO, what's that up to? It was up a penny today. And I'm telling you, this one has a lot of room. Another one is this one's going to get moving right here. That HAO. And you know, we were early on this, checking it out the other day. Little healthy pullback on mine, but it is setting up right here. So I would keep an eye on HAO because that one is setting up as well. You're going to see that start to move. And what is next? That PTIX. I don't even know what it is. Protogenic Therapeutics, I think, up 16 cents. I know we looked at it yesterday and had it asterisk that it wanted to move, and it did move over 28 cents today. It was in the perfect setup right there. It was looking good, PTIX, and where we had it set up for Friday and last night. And yeah, it went from 63 to 78, and it's at 78. So there's that PTIX, and that was a perfect setup, and that moved easily. So there you go with that one. And I think that's going to try to keep the momentum tomorrow. So that was a perfect play right there. How about ELAB? Everybody's excited about ELAB. It's trying to set up here. Went up like 2%, went down a little bit, and you're getting that curl up on a nice base down there. And I think this one's going to get cruising relatively soon. Where's it going to go? I have no idea because they're so hard to tell, but it's at 2 cents. Could get up to that seven, like I said the other day, maybe six, five. I have no idea, guys. It's hard to tell with these things. You got to look at them as they're crossing through. As this thing crosses through and gets out of the basement, it could cruise right up to that 6, 7 cent area. So it's almost at like just under 2 cents, it says. And that is ELAB. And again, on October 25th, it was at 18 cents. So I would say it's a pretty good bargain because if you were buying it up there and it dipped down on you, you were in trouble right now. So that is ELAB, ELAB, and it is curling up and looking good to set up. So VTKG, I know laptop, or what did I write? VKTG it is, or what is it? VKT. X. There it is. I wrote the wrong thing. It's VKTX. I don't even know what I wrote. The heck did I wrote? I have no idea. I think I knew it was Viking maybe, and I just started like putting a G there. I have no idea what I did. VT. I don't even know if that's the right one. I don't. We're looking at Viking anyway. VKTX. I'll have to figure out what that one was. VKTX is that was down $5, came right down to that line, so it's perfect right there. Up a little bit in the after hours, and I bet you'll see a little popper off here tomorrow because that one pulled back in the perfect spot. It just has that nice pullback and look. If it comes down anymore, I mean, it came down there, but it's definitely setting up. Just look and see if it'll come down in the 61s. It's at 63 right now, but that's a beautiful pullback right there for that Viking Therapeutics. And that's that one laptop travel was telling us about. Had some stuff going on, and it is looking pretty sweet right there on the dip. So that one, check out tomorrow and see what it wants to do. If it's pulling back anymore, we'll get that perfect setup on it. And that's at VKTX. And I'm not sure if that's what I was supposed to write there. I have no idea, but that's what I'm going to write. And CNSP, let's see what that's doing. CNSP because this was setting up. It was up a penny, rolling up, and we were looking at this, and this one looks great too. So keep an eye on CNSP because this one wants to get cruising. It hit that resistance today at about 13, 14 cents, but I don't see why it can't get through. It opened and closed in the same price. So you know how I love when it does that, but it looks like it wants to crawl up and get cruising, guys. So I would say CNSP's rolling off that MACD and getting cruising up there. PTPI, let's see, Petros Pharmaceuticals. It was just pulling back. Is that dip and rip? Not yet. I think you're going to have a little bit of pullback. It ran up some. It went like 31, 32, came back to 29. I mean, the pullback wasn't anything crazy here. So PTPI, just let it set up right here. Just like I said, a little bit of pullback. It says 35 to 28, and it's at 29 on mine. So it did look like it jumped around a little more than here, but that's what it says. Um, but yeah, it's just making a base right there. And like I said, let it pull back and get that bottom so it can bounce back up and it'll be money right there. And that's at PTPI. And let's see what's happening with ASO. Down 65 cents. This is going to be a good setup. Just it was curling up trying to get through. It's just coming back a little bit. So we'll have to keep an eye on this one just to see when it wants to set up. Like I said, it was right there. It was looking pretty decent. And it just had that pullback right there. And let me see what this price came down to. 49.81 where we at here. That 49.81 still could be its bottom, so you could see it trying to move up there. I'll look at it tomorrow. Let me keep my eye on ASO, and it is at $50, 50.66. So I'll take a look at that and see exactly what it wants to do. MLGO, that one is down a little bit today. Let me see. It's just a little flat, but rolling off real nice. I think it's going to be your little dip and rip look too. So MLGO, and remember we looked at it last night, and it is looking much better. So keep an eye on that one for a little dip and rip from today. And that bottom was definitely right there on November 6th as well. So literally like the day after the election, some of these penny stocks went and dipped down and the big caps were rolling the Mag 7, and now the pennies are getting ready to roll. I think the Mag 7 may be pulling back just a hair. So keep an eye on these pennies because they look like they're getting good. This one looks like it's curling up right there. So I would keep an eye on that MLGO. You got so many of them getting ready to cruise. TSM did pull back today, $7. And then honestly, right there, I think last night we were saying it might even pop up in that channel or look for it to come down to the 190. It was hard to tell exactly, but it is setting up and it is going to be getting good. And that one's that 170 or one the 170. At 170 be great, but the 190 is really good right there. If you can catch that, it got down to 190, 149 today. So see if it wants to get down there tomorrow, and there's some good support there, and then it'll set right back up and bounce back up, and that is TSM. So just let it pull back a hair, see if it wants to, and set up in the next day or so. We'll see what's happening, and that will be a great one because them semiconductors are going to get cruising. AKTX. Let's see right here. Down 15, and another one came down to that support line. And honestly, it looks pretty good right there. A lot of them, if they weren't on the supports, they kind of pulled back to them. And it's not a terrible thing. Again, they ran up like crazy, a lot of them. So keep your eye on this AKTX because it's right there. If it pulls back anymore, it's coming down to 207. And I'm not so sure it wants to do that. So watch for it to try to get back up to that 239. It was at 238. It's high today, and then it can get cruising. So that's AKTX. And that's what you're looking for on that. And let's keep on moving here. Oh, there's BTBT. We already looked at it, and again, it jumped up way high. I thought I was wondering. I was like, did I put it on the list? I kind of forgot, but it was on the list there, but Luis Rodriguez was all over this one. And bam, that one jumped up. And again, it's up at the top. So keep an eye on it if it wants to run up a little bit higher in the morning. And that's our BTBT ALLR. Remember this one? This is like one of the first ones that a few people hit their poppers on listening to the show. And it had run in the basement forever. Took a little longer than we thought, but it ran up like a maniac that time. I remember it reverse split, so it's hard to tell, but I remember it was real cheap and it went up pretty big and people were real excited. But I'll tell you what, it's curling up right now and I think it's looking pretty good again. I know someone posted it this today and tagged me in it and I looked at it and I said, "Yeah, I'll look at that tonight because it looks pretty nice." And I'll tell you what, the 20's up there at like 151. It's at 138, 137, and your bottom's probably around 126. So its low today was 132. Keep an eye on it because it is curling up right there, ALLR, and it is starting to look a little bit better right there. So I will watch it and see what's going on. EDBL, let's see what you're up to, that edible. It was up 5% and it had its earnings, or it does on the what? Tomorrow. No, the 13th, Wednesday. Has earnings on the Wednesday, but it came out of the basement and it's curling up there. It looks pretty good. Another one we had looked at before, I think we kind of just stopped looking at it last week because of all the election excitement, and it is starting to move again. So keep your eye on that one because that looks like it's going to keep the momentum going up tomorrow. So that is EDBL, and that is another one that we were all over. SUGP. This one ran up today. We were all over this one. Another popper. I forgot to mention this one. Yeah, there's so many of them, guys. But we were looking at this, the 20 and 50 were meeting up, and bam, it popped up. And that was at SU Group Holdings. And it ran from SUGP 170 to 270. So it went up $1 and it closed at 234. And it is up there. See if it can keep that momentum. It's up at the top. It might run up more in the morning. So just keep an eye on it for momentum right there because like I said, it got up to the top and it ran pretty nice for us. So that's SUGP. And how about BCG? Let's see. That was another one that went smoking today, and I forgot to mention it. So, I mean, there's just so many of them that went crazy. I can't even remember them all. This was 243 to 655, and we had been looking at this for a little while. So, this one went wild, and I completely forgot to post about it. I did see it going crazy, and it's back at 330, but yeah, it went up to over $6. I did see it. It was on my watch list thing, so on my stock twits. Yeah, I didn't even post it, but there was another one probably ran well over 100%. I mean, we just give away 100%ers every single day. It's wild. And here's just another one, and we're always early, so you can take a look at them. I tell you which ones are setting up, and we're generally 3 weeks early, and then we try to nail them down. So we keep a watch on them for about 3 weeks. they go flying and they just fly off the list, and a whole new list comes around, and it's just nonstop poppers. So, and then we hit the big caps, the crypto, and everything in between. So here we go. That was BCG, and that was at Binnen Capital or whatever. And yeah, we were looking at that. How about Foxo? I know we were looking at this. It's been running up, but it's going to run up even higher. I think it's getting higher than that 106 it did the other day. It got up to 103 today, and I think, oh wow, yeah, I think it might. It's at what 68. Let me see what it's doing. It is bouncing around like crazy. 58 to 103, and it closed at 77, and it still looks good, I'm telling you. So take a look at that Foxo. It's right there trying to get through to the top, and I'll have to take a look at it in the morning, but obviously look at it. If it's running up, you know it's getting into the top and it's moving, and the resistance is right there. It keeps breaking through, but not going over. It is at about 79, call it 79, like 50 to be safe. Gets over that, it can really get cruising. So that's that Foxo right there, FOXO. And BSFC, that Blue Star Food. Let's see what that's up to, because that was trying to crawl through just a little flat. And I think this one's going to be moving as well. BSFC, and another one that was on our list. And like I said, it's trying to crawl through. It's looking pretty good to jump up there. So watch for this one to try to crawl up and get moving tomorrow or even this week. So that's BSFC. And what else is here? KULR. What's that up to? I don't know if we looked at that. KULR Technologies was up 9 cents. They do have earnings on Wednesday. So it is up 9 cents. It's way up there and it has earnings. So I would probably not mess with it, but let's look if it's a momentum play in the morning because it definitely could be. 42 to 48, and that's where it's at right now. So I would say take a look at it in the morning, but be careful. Earnings on Wednesday, and it did run up before the earnings. So I'm not so sure it's going to continue. You know what I think about that? AMPX, this one looks like it could be a momentum play in the morning, though. Up 72 cents, and it was cruising. AMPX. Yeah, $1.73 to 256, and I think you have a momentum play right there in the morning because that one's already basically moving, and you'll probably catch some more movement as it gets up to the top. It's just poked itself into the top and wants to run, so take a look at that. And before, again, they weren't running like this, so we haven't seen this in 3.5 years, I promise. And you guys know you haven't seen it in over 3 months or 4 months since we doing the show or however long we've been doing it. And now all of a sudden you're seeing it. So MIRA making that like nice flag right there and setting up at 171. This is gonna roll off MIRA, and it is looking really good right there. So keep an eye on that to roll off and get moving. And that's MIRA and Roku. Someone wanted to see Roku. Let's look at that. That was up 330 today, and that's crossing through and looking good. I'm telling you, they never could do this. It looks like it wants to get up to that $82 area. Let me see. Roku. Yeah, it does. Cross through and looking good. I would say it's trying to move. So keep your eye on Roku because that looks like it's trying to go up some more. AMPS, did we look at amps, right? I don't know, but if not, why do I feel like we looked at it? I have no idea, but let's look at it again because it has earnings coming up on the 12th, and that is tomorrow, and it was moving, and I think I did say look at it tomorrow for a possible momentum play in the morning, but I'm not sure if it's going to keep moving. And it does look like it wants to crawl up there tomorrow morning. So keep an eye on it, AMPS, but it does have their earnings. And I'm not a big earnings person. I mentioned that a couple times or a lot. And yeah, earnings scare me. I don't know. I just can't tell what the hell's going on. TNXP, that one is the lines are touching, and I think you're going to get a roll off. I think this one's making a base. It looks like it's making that base right there, and it wants to roll off of there. So I think you're going to have a winner right here, too. TNXP, I think you're gonna have one to take a look at in the morning because that one looks like it's gonna get moving, guys. Gets over that 15 and even yeah, over anything over like the high 15s and it's going flying. TNXP. Keep an eye on that bad boy right there. MDJH, let's see. That was down a penny. I know that we looked at it. It was looking pretty decent. It is just setting up. That one's got a little setup time on it, and it's one of them big curl ups. That's why they're not moving really that fast yet. But again, you're just gonna bounce around. We know this look anyway. It's that big fish hook kind of look. So as it's curling up, you have to be careful on these because these bad boys they can pull back each day as it gets about a day out. And they still do that right now. They're still popping up like a day out, 2 days out. This one's a little further out. So you can see it did pop up over here on what, November 7th. It had like crazy volume, 174 million. It went nutty with volume. And then it pulled back and it looked like it was trying to get ready. It's just not ready yet. And it will get moving though. So that bottom was right there at like 14 cents and it's at say 16, I guess. Yeah, the high 16. So like I said, as it curls up, it's going to get bouncing around, but it's right there. It's going to be there in the next probably 7 to 10 days, maybe even sooner than that. Yeah, it'll probably be 10 days and probably be in closer to a week and it'll get set up and sometimes in that point. So look for that low if it can bounce back down again to that 14 cent area and then it'll definitely get popping. So MDJH is looking good to set up. And again, it's just curling up down there. It's in the basement, and we know that. Look, MEXX. That's the Mexico bull shares. And Laptop Travel thinks that Mexico is about to flourish, I guess. And looks like it's good. Let me see what it looks like. Just hitting that line coming back, but it looks like it's trying to set up. Let me see what it wants to do here. Let's look at it tomorrow and we'll definitely be able to tell. It's hitting that line. If it goes through, it's going to come back down here into like the tens. It's at 1162 and it jumped up in the after hours, so that's a good look. So that bottom today was what 1130. We'll see if that's the bottom and it's trying to crawl back up. If it is, we'll know it's solid and Mexico's trying to do better, I guess, or do something. But it is looking pretty good, I'm telling you. It just has that little pullback look. I'm not so sure. So we'll look at it tomorrow and I'll be able to tell much better. I can tell you that. MEXX. Hut. Let's look at that. It was up $5 today. And I know that we've looked at this before, but not recently. It has earnings on Wednesday and it's at the top. So just be careful with HUT. Again, another one could be a good momentum one in the morning, but just take a careful look because it has its earnings and that cold KOLD. That is a ETF as well. It's the short for the natural gas and this one is falling down, and I believe Boyle was coming up. So let's see. I think this cold is going down right now. KOLD. And it does look like it's crashing down. And let's look at that Boyle, BOIL, because that was up 556. It did split 1 for 5 the other day on the 7th. I didn't even notice that, to be honest with you, but it did. And it's curling through, and it looks like it wants to pop off that $43 area. So take a look at this Boyle, too, because that one's looking really good. And that is an ETF for the natural gas. So that's the ProShares Ultra Bloomberg natural gas 2 times shares. And there you go. So that one's looking much better right there. And that is Boyle and Cold and QLGN. Let's see. Well, let me type it in. That was down 48 cents. It recently split. This is exactly what we were looking for. It was a 1 for 50, so it diluted it. And we said, let's see if it's trying to get out of the basement or stay in there. And it pulled back a little bit. So we'll just keep an eye on it and see when it's getting ready. And then we can rock and roll that one, QLGN. So I'll keep an eye on that. TWG. That one somebody had mentioned, and it is a big setup, another big fish hook. And again, it's just going to bounce around. It ran up the other day to like 47 cents. It's at 40, 41. So has a few days left in it, and just one of them big setups. So keep an eye on it because it will move very soon. And the yin and the yang, that yen was down 23 cents, exactly what we were looking at, and it is pulling back there. And I'll tell you what, let's look at the yang because it's like I said, they both almost look like they wanted to get moving. I meant to update it today and I totally forgot, so my apologies. But the yang was up 17 cents and some more in the after hours. And honestly, it looks like I said, it looks like it wants to get back up to like that 101. It looks like it wants to blast off here and the yin wants to go down. So I would say that's what it's setting up to do. So if I had to look at it, I'd say the yang looks pretty good and the yin's coming back down. So that is the ETFs for China as well. And there you go with that one. I'd say the yang's going up, the yin's going down, and boom, right there. Let me see what you guys have to say. I didn't even look at any of the messages, so let me cruise through and see what's going on. How is everybody tonight? XBI, let's look at that. Looks like biotechs are ready to run, and I can't agree with you more there, Luis Rodriguez. I think everything wants to run. It can't run fast enough. Crypto, everything. Like I said, I posted that sign the other day. I go to Home Depot and prices are already dropping. They already have low prices down signs out. I'm like, holy shit, I haven't seen one of these in a long time. So, and I'm telling you, it was a motion light. I just put one in for my neighbor the other day, and then I bought one for my other neighbor, and yeah, it was $10 cheaper. I was like, wow, that's pretty wild. Like literally, I put one in 2 weeks ago, and my other neighbor wanted one, and I said, oh, I'll grab it for you and throw it in. It's easy, and yeah, it was $10 cheaper. I was like, holy shit. I haven't seen anything $10 cheaper in a long time. So pretty amazing. And it was right after the election. I think I posted the picture the other day. XBI though, that's the Spider Biotech ETF. And I think right here, it appears to be pulling back a hair, but honestly setting up to be very bullish. So let me look on mine real quick. I think it almost kind of topped out today, Luis Rodriguez at 105 right there, but not a bad thing because just let it pull back a hair. It might get back down into that 100-hour range, maybe a little lower, maybe it comes down to 99. It's not going to be too crazy, but I think it's going to get set up so it can go in the top. We'll see tomorrow if it tries to run up. If it runs up, it's going to crawl up in the top and really blast off. But I don't think it wants to at the moment. I think it wants to set up for like a week down the road and maybe 2 weeks down. But it will run around, obviously bounce around a little bit. But I think just wait and get a better price on XBI. And yeah, the biotechs are setting up though. I can't agree with you more. And SMCI. This one I think is getting set up too. It's just in that basement, and that's like going to be a big curl up right there. So I think you still have a few days left on SMCI before it gets completely set up, but it's down there, and I think your bottom was the other day, at 2020. It had good vision, and now it's at 23 something, just over 23. So that is SMCI, and that one is looking good too, like I said. And here we go. Let me take a look, see what else is going on. Small cap season. Yup, that's that ALLR one. I'm telling you, that one's looking good, guys. I know I was tagged on that one. Some other people, the TSLL, yeah, the options and all, SpaceX. All right, so that's all. I seen all these guys. Just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing anything. And let's get cruising through some more. How about that, everybody? So here we go. Let's roll and see what else is going on here. Let's look at our crypto real quick because I was just saying to my buddy, hold on, let me get into my app real quick. I was just saying, I don't know if they're trying to top out just for a moment and pull back a hair. It was kind of hard to tell. I mean, these things are run up so high. Bitcoin's at like 88,000. It got to 89, almost got to 90, and it's at what, 87.3 right now. So it's crazy. It's way up there. And like I said, they might just pull back a hair and run up even higher. So Ethereum's at $3,311, and it is just cruising. It looks like it wants to go to 3,500, honestly. So what it looks like, Ripple's at 60, and it looks like it wants to keep on ripping up there. But it's at the 70, and I'm telling you, these things are just ripping up at the top. So I think it's going to get moving. Solana's up at 217. It was at 220. 224 it got up to. So it's just cruising up there. And honestly, that looks like it wants to get a little higher right now. So they did look like they could have pulled back earlier. I was looking on my scanner, nothing was really popping out at the moment. Cardano could be pulling back. I mean, it went nutty. It got up to what, 62 cents. But it was way down in the 40s just the other day. So it ran way up. It's at 58, and Doge is at 34, and this thing just doesn't want to stop. It just is going. So Doge just keeps on running there. And what else do we have? Good old Sheeb down here. That was just, I think, pulling back just a hair. I mean, it ran up, but it wasn't as high up. And but yeah, Sheeb is still kind of running up in that 72. And what's our buddy Bonk and the WIF doing? We'll look at them bad boys. Bonk says it's down about 4%, but again, it's still running up there, and it's still getting up to the 70. It hasn't gotten up there all the way. And that WIF, let's look at Laptop Travels, Wife's Pet Rock. It's down to 301, so it did pull back about 10 cents, but it did run up there pretty good yesterday. And again, I'm seeing maybe they're just, this one's hitting the 70 right there. They could just have a little bit of healthy pullback as they ran up like animals, and it's just a little healthy, and they're just gonna keep on going. So I'm keeping an eye on it, that's for sure. And I'll keep you posted to let you know if I think that they're topping out and anything crazy is gonna happen. But like I said, they're just ripping along, not having any problem right there. So I hope you're in the crypto because it's great and it's going to get even better. Let's go ahead. We'll look at our laptop ones real quick, and then we'll take a look at our SPY and our big caps and cruise right along. ATHE. Let's look at some of these bad boys. This one was curling up. I took a look at the first few and they were all setting up. So ATHE, I might not even mark them down because I'll probably have to mark every single one. I'm not going to lie. This one looks like it wants to run literally tomorrow. AUUD was up 7 cents today. It looks like it wants to keep that momentum. So I'm telling you, you could look at any of these practically. AYRO. This was down a hair today, but I mean, not really. And then it ran up 1% in the after hours, AYRO. And this looks like it wants to try to run back up tomorrow. So BNOX, this one might have been one of the few that looked like it could have been pulling back, but traded in that little channel. So I'll keep an eye on it. Like I said, that one's one of the very few ones that could be pulling back there. BNOX, BON. Bond Natural Life. This one's setting up to try to run up. So watch that one to move. BON because it wants to. What else do we have? CTHR, Charles and Colvard. We looked at them the other day down here at the bottom, down in the 120s. They're in the 140s, and they look like they want to bounce off. So CTHR, they look good. CTOR, Citius Oncology. This one looks like it wants to get cruising, guys. I mean, it looks like it wants to get over this 50 right here. And we were looking at this down here in the lower ones. It's at 135, and it looks like it wants to get cruising. So that's CTOR. And is that GURE? Yeah, Gulf Resources. And this one's curling up and looking really good right there. GURE. So take a look at this. And this is Laptop Travels list right here. And like I said, I already rolled through most of them. They were just looking really good. Visionary Holdings. Actually looked at this today. I forgot what it did, but it ran up there Friday real nice. And it looks like it wants to start running back up again. So keep your eye on that GV because it's looking pretty good to try to get moving again. So we'll watch that one. GXAI. That's Gaxo's AI. And this one is just trying to curl back up right there. So, I mean, there's so many of them that look decent and want to get moving again. So keep your eye on that because that's trying to curl back up. HLP we looked at a couple weeks ago. It had run up and pulled back. This one, it's hitting that 20, and I think it's going to try to get set up here, HLP. So I'll keep an eye and see if it tries to reverse and get moving right there. And I think it probably will. Hoth, HOTH, down 2 cents, but just making a base and setting up right there and going to get moving very soon. So just keep your eye on it to try to roll off of that 20 right there. Has a lot of weird looks. You know it's going to pop off sooner than later. That's a biotech one, and like Luis Rodriguez was saying, they are setting up. They're a lot of them are popping, and that ETF was setting up. So you can see they're trying to move. A lot of things are trying to move right now. It's a beautiful thing. SDH, I don't even know what I'm saying. HSDT, holy cow! Helios Medical Technologies down 0.5%. But this one was curling up. It's just more or less flat than anything. And I think this one is still trying to get moving. HSDT, I'll take a look at it, but I think it still looks good to me. It just bounced around a little bit today. What it do? It opened at 59, got to 60, came to 53, and it closed at 56. Nothing crazy, but it bounced around and looks pretty good right there. INTZ, Intrusion Inc. This was up 5 cents. They do have earnings coming up, I believe it was. Yeah, tomorrow. And it looks really good. I bet it's going to try to run in the morning. INTZ. So you can keep an eye on that one because that one looks really good to try to move in the morning. And LGCB. I remember looking at this one because the letters are LGCB remind me of whatever is linkage, but that's up 5 cents as linkage global, and it's gonna get cruising, guys. And yeah, you're gonna see this one get moving. And we were early on that one as well. LGCB. That's it. But yeah, it looks really good on the Finviz. A little flat on mine. What did it say? 30 to 32. And it got down. Oh, it actually pulled back maybe. Let me see. Where's it at on here? 27. A little bit of pullback. Mine, it looks a little more, but kind of flat. I'll look at it in the morning, but it does look like it's in a good spot right there, that LGCB. So we will look at that in the morning. Let's see MLEC, because this one was looking good yesterday. MLEC, it's just down a hair and in the right spot. So again, just a little bit flat. Didn't really do anything crazy today, but it is getting ready. I think actually, what it do? 91 to 85. What it close at? Closed at 88, so it ran up a little bit this morning, then pulled back, and it closed at that 88 again. So look at this one, that Mulek Science. That one, it just has something about it that it wants to do something here. So it's trying to run up. Take a look. What's its volume? 13,000. That could be its issue right there. We know some of them can still run without the volume, but this one just has that weird look. It was trying to do something. I'll keep an eye on it. MSS. This one's curling up right here and looking pretty decent. So MSS curled through, curling up. I'm telling you, we haven't seen that kind of look in a while. So keep an eye on that one in the morning. MSS, NCPL is net capital up 9 cents today. We looked at it yesterday. It was in between that channel. And this is one that's going to get moving, NCPL. So keep your eye on that as well because it does want to curl up and get cruising there. And also, and what the heck do I even have here? I can't even read it. NTJP maybe? I don't even know what I wrote. NTJP. That doesn't look like it is. NITP. Just let me know what that one is. Laptop travel. I have no idea what I wrote there. NXTT. So whatever was before that one, just let me know real quick. Next Technology Holding. I can't read my writing. This one looks great, guys. Curled through like you haven't seen before and curled up. Got through to 20 and 50. Looks great right there. NXTT. I'm not sure if we looked at it yesterday, but it did pull back there on Friday. Nice pullback. And today looks great. I mean, they're doing what they're supposed to do. And this is going to get exciting. This is just the beginning. So I love it. OMH. Let's see. That one we looked at yesterday, just building a base, and this one's curling up too, guys. I'm telling you, we haven't seen them try to do this in so long. On mine, it's a little flat. It ran what, 41 to 38. I'll look at OMH, but still looks good. I mean, it is curling up. It's in between that channel right there. So that we'll just see if it's trying to get back over this 50 right here, which is at about 42 and a half cents. Once it gets there, it'll get moving. That's like the high 40s. So I'll just look at that one, and that's OMH and PITA. I remember looking at that before, and this one's right on the 20 sitting there, and it isn't looking bad right there. So keep your eye on that. Little healthy pullback today for PITA. SGLY. Let's see what that's up to. That's curling up really nice right there. SGLY. Yeah, I mean it ran up a little today, 179 to 181, came to 165 and closed at 171. So I look at that in the morning because it's running around, but it's trying to set up right there. So that's SGLY. SST System One. And this one looks good. They just had their earnings, and this one should be moving tomorrow. Actually, we've been saying that, and it's been moving up a little bit. So it did move last Thursday. It moved up a little Friday, moved up today, and it's still looking good to move up tomorrow. So that's SST. And then we have our TSBX, Turnstone Biologics. And let me see. This one's in between the channel too. Probably going to be there between that 50 and that 54. It's at 52 right now, so it's right in between it. And I can see it just trading between there for like a little bit and then trying to move. So I'll keep an eye on that one. UONEK, Urban One Inc. Let's see, they're up 3 cents. And that one's curling up and looking good though. UONEK. Yeah, that one looks like it's going to be a runner tomorrow, guys. So keep your eye on that one. Has 5 letters. But UONEK looks good. Urban One Inc. looks nice. VEEE has 3 E's and a V. VEE, Twin V Power Cats. I remember we looked at this before. It's a recreational vehicle company. And this one's crawling up, so people are getting ready to go drive some recreational vehicles and have some fun. I like it. Yeah, it's crawling through. I'm gonna run, guys. So take a look at that bad boy. And that's VEEE. And how about WISA? That's a what the heck do they do? Semiconductor, right? Yeah, semiconductors. It's at 184. They do have earnings on the 15th, which is Friday. And let's see what it looks like because it looks like it's trying to make a hard curl up there, WISA. And it's hitting that MACD. I have to look at that tomorrow. Let me mark that one for tomorrow look. Um, and just see what it's up to because that one could get real interesting. It looks like WISA. And now WNW, it's a China company. I don't know how to say it, but it's a technology company. And it's just pulling back a little bit, kind of setting up in between that 20 and 50. WNW. Yeah, just a little flat. I have to look at that one tomorrow as well. VKTX. That's that Viking. We already looked at. I was supposed to look at a different one. I don't know what the heck I wrote, but I know we already looked at this one. Did pull back to that line, and I said, look at it, see if it pulls back anymore. But I'm telling you, that's a good pullback right there and a good look. REBN is that Reborn Coffee down 5 cents, up 6 in the after hours just in that basement still. It came out and then went back in. It was trying to curl through. What day was that too? On the 7th. So never got moving right there. And it will though. REBN. No one wanted coffee that day, but they're gonna want it soon because I'm telling you, it's looking pretty good. And the bottom was probably Friday, I would assume, at 139. And today's low is 141. So I think you're going to get moving here with REBN, and that's Reborn Coffee. And ASTS, let's look at it. AST Space Mobile, and this one looks good, guys. has some earnings coming up on the 14th, which again is Thursday, and it is curling up hardcore, has a good look. Just watch for it to bounce between that 24.94, say 25 and 22.50 something. So it's at 25.20 in the after hours ASTS, and it is looking pretty strong. So keep your eye on that because it looks really good. And here we go with our SPY and our big caps and our Mag 7 and all them big bad boys. So let me know if you guys want to see anything else and we'll look at it. So here we go. Let's look at that bad boy SPY because it was up 57 cents. It was up over 600 today. It says 617, but I thought it was higher in the pre-market. No, 697, so it was just a little over $600. It's at 598. And again, it's just touching that top. I'm not so this morning it looked like it wanted to get in there. Today it looks like it topped out and wants to pull back a little bit. So just telling you what it looks like. And again, we were talking about that last week. I didn't know what was going to happen, but I said it would be healthy, and wasn't sure if they really wanted to get into the top yet. So it's not a bad thing. Let's look at the rest. GameStop was up 238. We nailed this one. It's getting into the top, and we called that right there on that like $21 area. So that was looking good. GameStop, AMC. That's up 22 cents. And I told you guys this one's going to get crazy. I know I got my options on AMC, and it went from 428 to 468 and closed at 464. So that was a good one to purchase today. AMC, I told you that one was going to get moving, and it looks like it wants to blast off right there. I like it. And how about Chewy? This one did get up there. It was just sitting right there. I couldn't tell if it wanted to jump in the top, but it did. And I think it'll get up to that $35 area. So watch it with the momentum right there. But like I said, I think AMC is looking really good right there. And yeah, they have earnings. When did they have them? The six. They were good. We already passed the earnings, and I like when we do that because I can get a better look. Yesterday, yeah, I keep saying yesterday. Friday was probably the bottom at 417, and boom, I think it's going to be healthy right there. AMC, Nvidia just pulled back. It's at 237. It's in between that channel, but again, it looks like it could easily pull back a little bit and come down to that, like that 139. It's nothing crazy, but it'll be set up perfectly. So we'll see what it wants to do in the morning. Apple pulled back a little bit too down to that line. And again, if they weren't sitting on the line, they pulled back. But I have a feeling this one's going to try. This one's getting set up to try to curl up and get moving. So keep your eye on Apple. It's down at a good price there at 223. And I think it's going to try to bounce back up there. So keep your eye on Apple, Google, GOOG. That one's actually looked like it wants to get back up into the top and keep running. I was surprised. I didn't think it wants to get up there, but it's hitting that support or that resistance right there. But it looks like it wants to get through it and bounce off. So just keep your eye on Google in the morning. If it's moving, it wants to move. So that is Google and Amazon. It's pulling back. And again, I thought it kind of topped out the other last week and it was in the top. I think it wants to pull back so it can get ready for the holiday season. So let it pull back and then it's going to get wild. And that's that look I was telling you guys. We didn't want to chase these things up here on that reaction. If they were going to pull back, we want them, for when they pull back and they're going to run up because that's when they're really going to get wild. And then they're going to start building bases up there and getting crazy, and we're going to have a good old time. So that's what I was talking about. And here's Meta. That's down $6 back to the 580. So again, another one. I was trying to cross through right there, hitting the line. Just let it set up. Has a few days, and it's going to get pretty wild. Also, Meta. So keep your eye on that one. And let's look at our buddy Microsoft because that one was also pulling back. And again, I think they just topped out real quick. This one was crossing through. And now, I mean, this one's an interesting one if it can bounce back off. It's right there where it's trying to crawl. It made like a hard crawl up, and now it's making a hard crawl down. I'll definitely look at Microsoft in the morning to see what it wants to do, but it looks like it wants to bounce back up, but at the same time pull back. So let me just see on mine if I can get a better look at it. Yeah, it's you can't tell if it wants to roll off of there or come through. I'll look at Microsoft. We'll get a better look at them. We look at them every morning anyway, so we'll definitely look at it. Tesla, I mean, just keeps running, but I think you're going to get to the top right there. I think you might have topped out today, to be honest with you. Maybe it runs up a little more in the morning, but I have a feeling Tesla could be coming back down. And again, just to set up. So. It's not a crazy bad thing, but that's what it looks like at the moment. And Nike, that was moving back up at $76. It was down at the bottom the other day or yesterday or Friday at 75. And I think this one's going to get cruising back up from there. And that's NKE and Rivian. We said it was going to be driving up, and it is. We are down here in the nines. I know that. And now it's in the 11s. So keep your eye on Rivian. Had a little pullback in the after hours, but it looks solid to keep running up there. So RIVN looking good. And let's look at PLTR because this one's been a maniac up there. And I honestly do think that's its top today. So I do think we're going to see a little bit of healthy pullback coming in. And I mean, they kind of need it. I mean, they've been running up like wildfire. So Sophie's another one that ran way up there. And again, I'm not sure if it's its top yet, but it could be. So we'll keep an eye on it. And I'll be watching all these bad boys tomorrow. You could always buy a few puts real quick because they'll drop down like a dollar or two real fast, and there you go. That's how you play the coming down part. Dell, Dell, that one was up 428. We were talking about the fact that it wanted to go up yesterday, and it does. It looks pretty good to continue to move. So Dell, I think, is trying to get cruising. So keep your eye on Dell. And I think we said Dell, Snow, and like PayPal were looking good. And the next one is Snow. It was up 261. Pulled back a little bit in the after hours, but this one looks like it wants to get blasting off and have a blizzard again. So keep your eye on Snowflake right there. SNOW. And AMD looks like it was pulling back, has that weird look like it's trying to get set up to do something here. So I think AMD is setting up. I think its bottom was 141 down there. It's at 147. So just keep an eye on AMD. I think it is trying to get set up down here. And let's look at QCOM down 262. It ran up the other day right when we wanted it to. It's just healthy pullback, and then it's going to get set up to run some more. And that's Qualcomm. And PayPal was getting moving today. It was up 393. We said it was going to get moving, and boom, it did. So that was another one that got cruising when we said it would. SMCI, we looked at down $1.29. But again, I think you're going to get that set up, that curl up relatively soon on SMCI and INTC. Let's look at Intel Corp. That is down $1.15, but it is just keep setting up. Let it pull back. See if it can get down past like down under the 24 area. And it's right at 25, at least under 24.50, and see if it wants to pull back any more down here. But that one's going to set up, and we want that set up because that one's going to be a beauty. INTC. Disney up $1.08. Remember, I told you this one's going to 100. It's at 100. So that went up $1.84, and I think you're going to get a nice little run up tomorrow on Disney. So keep your eye on that. And it did exactly what we said it was going to do. Oxy, that one is just setting up. Their earnings are coming up on the 12th, which are tomorrow. So I wouldn't mess with it, but it is looking good to get curled up and moving. So I have a feeling Oxy's going to get cruising right there. OXY. So we'll keep an eye on that. And XOM, which is ExxonMobil, was looking good. Has that crazy look. A little bit of pullback right here. Nothing crazy. And XOM is going to get set up. ExxonMobil. So we're keeping an eye on that as well. But Oxy's looking pretty good right now. Mara, MARA, that jumped up big time today to $25. It closed at what yesterday? It closed at 19. So MARA, boom, just went nutty. And they have their earnings tomorrow. So just be careful about that because it jumped up and it's in the top. And Riot was running up as well, RIOT. And that went up 216. And another one way at the top. Be careful. It jumped up a little more in the after hours, but like I said, these things could be trying to top out. Even the crypto, just a healthy pullback. They all went nuts. and it's just the beginning of something crazy and magical. MSTR, that one ran up to its all-time high, I believe, at 340. It's up like $70 today. It went nutty. So again, keep an eye on MicroStrategy. It looked like it went up even higher in the after hours. So MSTR getting wild, and we're gonna be playing these bad boys as this crypto and everything's rolling. And so yeah, it's going to get great. Clean Spark, CLSK, another one ran up $4. We were down here in the nines. It's at 17, and that thing just keeps cruising up. So look for momentum on that bad boy as well. Coin going nutty, huh? Up another $53 and then up even higher in the after hours. We talked about that. CONL, that one's over 71. That one went crazy. Them options were insane right there. CONL and Coin. What else do we have? DJT. What did that do? Up $1.50. Again, I think this is just has some healthy pullback in it, and then it's getting set up to get moving. So just don't get crazy with that one just yet. Let's see what else is going on with Fun. Up 39 cents. And it's just a little pullback as well. I think this one's going to get cruising. They had their earnings on the 7th. So they're good past that, and I think it's just going to set up a base here and get moving now. So it did run up like crazy, and it's going to do it again, and that's PHUN fun. And let's look at Mountain MTN. That was up 396 to like 181. We looked at it down here in the 160. So another beauty right there. MTN ran exactly like we thought. So we'll keep an eye on that bad boy. And McDonald's, we said would run up today, and it did run up $2.56, and it's starting to run up more and looks pretty damn good, guys. So McDonald's wants to get back on track and have a Big Mac. So there you go with McDonald's, and that almost rhymed. Boeing, BA, like I said, I don't even know how this company does well, but it's about to pop off. It's setting up to run off of that 148 area. And honestly, I don't know what's going on, but the arrow in space and defense looks good because Trump's going to keep our country safe. So, space, what I say last night, this thing was looking good. And boom, it ran up today over $1.33. So, that's SPCE, and it went from 620 to 770 just today. So, there you go. And it looks like it's going to get cruising into space. And there you go with all of our tickers that we look at. Let me see if anybody else has anything else to look at. I don't even see anything else. And let me cruise through the scanner real quick. Just take a fast look and see what's going on. We probably, what am I looking at? Here we go. Our CERO, Foxo, Tesla, NVIDIA. I mean, ELAB. We basically cover everything. Remember that HOVR? I remember looking at that. That ran up today. We were early on that one too. Lucid, SOXL, the semiconductor thing. IBIT. I know we looked at that before. That ran up right. Intel. SOUN ran up today. We were on that one before pretty early last week. That one did run up. SGN, that's running up a little bit. I mean, we just basically crushed the entire market, guys. It's pretty wild what we do. And again, it's not just me. You guys sending great stock tickers. I just sit here and blast through them. Asian stocks retreat and Bitcoin soars to record on Trump euphoria. Asian shares in tight range. Dollar extends gains. And let's see. S&P 500 futures are little changed after stocks close at record highs, and S&P 500 eclipses 6,000 and Dow surpasses 44,000. Why stocks could keep climbing. There are your 5 news stories. Let me see. LEDS ran up. There you go. Just another one that we looked at up 42 cents. Thank you, Eileen. Was that Eileen I just saw? Write that in. Yes, Eileen. Eileen loved LEDS because that ran up like a maniac today. So, I mean, we just absolutely destroyed this market. $1.12 to 188 today. It's at 172. Still looking pretty decent right there. So, I hope you enjoyed that one. And what's that? ASTS? Which one was that? Did we even look at it today? I don't even. Oh yeah, that ASTS mobile. That one is setting up beautiful. Watch that one, guys. That is laptop travels right. That one's getting set up, and this whole market looks great. I'm telling you, it's fun. It's gonna get amazing, guys. So there you go. I would say we did a pretty good market. Let me just see what's on stock twits and trending. I'll just tell you. Probably mostly crypto, I bet. Doge, Bitcoin, GameStop, Tesla, Crow, which is what do I keep forgetting? What it's a exchange, and I can't even remember. But whatever. Lunar. Remember, I said this one was going to go Lunar the other day. What it do today? It's up $1.27. We looked at it down here like the 7 or 8s, and it's up at 11. So there's another one. MSTR, Coin, Ripple, and ALT. What's Alt doing here? Alta Moon. They have earnings coming up on the 12th, and it's pulling back. So I'll just look at it and see. But there you go. I mean, we basically crushed every one of them that was on there. So I would say we destroyed a market as a team right here, and I have a lot of fun doing it with you guys. So it's only going to get better. I keep telling you, and I think you guys kind of trust me at this point because I haven't let you down, and we call it all pretty textbook. So there you go. I rolled through an early night, I think, and I'm going to try to get some more rest because I'm telling you, this market just changing and the crypto and trading and getting crazy. Holy cow, it's exhausting, I think, but it's time to step it up and take it to the whole next level. So let's do it. SUGP, did we go over that? Because that one popped too. I think we did talk about that. I know we did. I said I didn't even posted today. Like there's so many of them, it's insane. So there was another one, and just a ton of them. So there we go, everybody. And I hope you guys enjoyed that. Any questions? Let me know. You know I'll answer anything. Just send me a message on here on Twitter or X. And yeah, there we go. We just rock and roll through that, and I'll see you guys at 7 a.m. for pre-market. Thanks everyone for hanging out. Laptop Travel. Energy is everywhere, that's for sure. Profit Logic, Eileen, O'Hare's Bastard Child, RD, Jennifer Lee, Tommy, Eagle AI, Sherry. Oh, Sherry had a few that I didn't look at. Which ones were they, Sherry? Shoot them over real quick and I'll look. Bong Pre-Chan, NorCal, DTM, Jalal, Buddy, and Rebecca DeWhite and Din Vong. How is everybody tonight? And I know I missed some because I know somebody who did I say? Sherry sent some in before the show, I think, or right there. Let me go through my messages again. Hold on. They were somewhere. Let me see. Yeah, here they are. AISP, We Buy, Let Me Now, them guys. I'm sorry. They were right in between, and I never wrote them down. And I just saw your name, and somehow I remembered. That was good. AISP, here we go. I'm sorry. Airship AI Holdings. That one we had just looked at too, and it's been running up big time. There's another one that popped up. I didn't even see it today. I must not even added it to my watch list. That's why. But yeah, there's another one that ran up. It's in the top. I would say you're going to have a little momentum play early in the morning on that AISP. There's another one that we were early on. We buy. We were looking at this the other day when it popped up there right before. It's still in the top there. I'm amazed. I didn't even look at it today. Um, that one, I'll look at that tomorrow. It could just pull back a little bit and stay up there. It's hard to tell, to be honest. It's kind of a weird look, but it did. Just like hung up out at the top for a strange reason. So I'll look at We Buy in the morning. Let me write that bad boy down. We Buy right there. I'll take a look at that. SBET. Let's see what that's up to. Sharp Link Gaming. This shot up on Friday and it ran what 63 to 109 and it's just getting set up there. You know what? This one's a great one too. SBET. We got to write that one down on the list because that one's going to be a solid one. I think we looked at it the other day, maybe, and I didn't add it. I'm going to try to go through the list. I will. I'll go through them tomorrow. I was exhausted again today. I was just trying to do everything. I have to upload a bunch of videos too and get that all caught up. So much stuff to do, but it's all good. I just been trading, looking at charts, and the market's going crazy. So it's definitely had me occupied. And it's all good. It's all good reasons. I won't complain. That's for damn sure. NCL. Now, this one's up at the top. It did run up Friday, pulled back, but was looking kind of healthy today. And this one's kind of an odd look, too. I think it does want to try to run back up there, Sherry. So we can look at NCL in the morning as well. But I do think that one does want to run back up. And there you go with them bad boys. And there we go. Let me make sure. AISP, yeah, that one is moving, I'm telling you. And Like I said, we looked at that the other day, ran up 43 cents. I think it's going to be a momentum play in the morning because it just ran up to that top right there for AISP. And I think it can stay up in the top and run up a little bit more. So there you go. And no problem, Sherry. I'm glad that I was reading out everyone's name because I knew that you sent them in and I never wrote them down. I was like, I tried to tell myself to do it. And between the time I like left to get the paper, come down here, set up the computer, I completely forgot. So, that fast my brain works. But anyway, glad we went through them and I didn't miss them for you. So yeah, thank you everybody for hanging out as always. And again, if you want to see anything, let me know. We can look at it in the pre-market. 7 a.m. We always do a show. We go through our Jolie's jumpers, our laptop lowdowns, our crypto, and our big caps. We know what's going to be moving. And then obviously we break the whole market down in this 9 o'clock show and bang it all out. And we'll kind of keep them shorter, I think, and just roll through everything. They were getting long the other day, but it was exciting with the election and everything going on. So there we are. I hope everyone had a great Monday, and it's going to be another fun week. And I'm telling you, it's going to just get better and better and better. And we're going to have a lot of fun together. So have a great night, everybody. Thanks again for tuning in and hanging out. Appreciate it. And I greatly appreciate all the great stock tickers because we make the ultimate list, that's for sure. And we know exactly what's popping. So have a good night. I'll catch you guys at 7 a.m. And there you go for our live show. So, like I said, have a good night, everybody, and I'll see you guys in the morning.